Yeah, I'm getting it printed.
What is the issue?
Yeah, Chair, there are a few issues that I had hoped that we would have a conversation with the governor, and it is revolving around water issues in Nairobi. Governor, in all honesty, I also have a problem with the office in terms of how they treat correspondence. Your office never responds to correspondence. And this is not just from me. I have letters here from members of the county assembly addressed to your various departments, and the complaint is the same throughout the leadership of Nairobi, that your office does not respond to correspondence. The first one, leaders that I've spoken about, and I had written to you on the 27th of May 2025. This letter was received in the office on the 28th of May 2025. I have a copy here with me, Chair, and it was regarding water connections in Ruai Ward. And there has been no response, Governor. I had occasion to run into Engineer Muguna at the airport a few weeks back, and I asked him the same question, but there has been no response. So it becomes very difficult for us as representatives of the people to give feedback to the people when we can't ourselves be given that information. So perhaps we could start there, Chair. If the governor is in a position to answer this today, because this is the only place we can now have this conversation, it is possible. You can say maybe you will need time to answer, but maybe that's because the water company is there. The residents of Ruai are concerned about delayed household water connections, and the information we got was that the major pipeline project by Athi Water Works and Nairobi Water was largely complete. There are over 22,000 households that have paid 5,000 shillings each for connections, and yet those connections have not been had. Is it possible for us to response today on that particular issue? Secondly, Honorable Chair, there's a meeting that I held with sewerage system, specifically in Roysambu Ward, and the complaint there, Honorable Governor, was that the residents of Nyati Drive in that particular ward were omitted from the construction of the sewerage that was going on. And perhaps you can also, if it is possible today, Governor, give a response so that the people of Nyati Drive know the current situation. Thirdly, Honorable Chair, there was a request from the Honorable Sospita Mumbi, who's the MCA for Roysambu, for construction of a borehole at GSU Primary School and Secondary School in Roysambu Ward. There's a letter to you, Honorable Governor, to your Chief Officer for Water, and it is received on the 21st of February 2024, which is more than a year ago. There has been no response, Governor, to the Honorable MCA on that particular request, just to say yes or no, so that he doesn't waste time running around offices. And lastly, Honorable Chair, this is a letter from the Marurui Residents Alliance, and they were raising questions of the sewerage coverage within Marurui as well. Honorable Governor, I'm sure you are familiar with this matter, that has left many high-rise buildings unconnected to the main sewerage line. So perhaps, Governor, if you can identify any of those issues that we can get responses today as we wait for the committee to get its act together, then maybe you can indicate. But if you do not have, I would appreciate if there were formal responses coming from your county government whenever leaders raise this question, so that we don't have to waste too much time on it. I thank you, Honorable Chair.
Thank you. Senator Sifuna, you know that matter can be raised under agenda AOB. So on the basis that it's a very important issue and you had asked the committee to bring up that matter, I think we handle it as AOB. So I'll bring the AOB first before we go to agenda number 4. So, Governor, you can respond to your senator on the issues that he has raised.
Chair, the more detailed ones, they can get a response a bit later. But what I know, for instance, in Ruai, parts of Ruai would are now connected. We've had a challenge. That's the biggest ward in this county. It's possibly an eighth, In Kasarani constituency, right now for the water, we have reached Kangundo Road to Ruai Market. And then there's a pipe from Jiru Railway Station that goes towards to cover the Infinity area. That is already ongoing. And there are many others, because that goes hand in hand with the Utawala. Yeah, the Utawala area. It's a similar part. And there are many other laterals that we're doing around that area. So I will ask the MD to maybe just give, not now, but to prepare. Yeah, because Kasarani has two sides. There's the Kamuru side, Ruai, Mwiki, and this other side of Santon. Currently for Siwa, at Kasarani police station, yeah, we're developing, there's a diversion that is now connecting to the trunk Siwa along Mwiki Kangundo Road. That one is something that is also ongoing. I think it's a great opportunity to give a larger update of all the improvements that have been going on in the last year, and I will be able to share that with you, Senator. Including, I think, what would form part of today's discussion on the what we call reshrilling, of the piping in the CBD, because a lot of the reason you have that non-revenue water is because of the old pipes that have leakage and connected to the old fire system in the city. And as soon as that is done, now we'll reduce the non-revenue water by 2,000 cubic meters per hour. Yeah, that is what is currently ongoing. So there's Santon, there's Clay City, there's Kariobangi North at National Concrete, that is also ongoing. The side of Kawangware 46, all the way coming into Chalby Drive. You also know that we're doing 54 kilometers of trunk Siwa, 1.8 by 2.4 meters, that goes hand in hand with the river program. South Sea is a place that has had similar challenges. What we have there is something called condominium sewers. Those condominium sewers are sewers that are not on a wayleaf, that are in people's property, just like Isili, because of the planning. But now we've been able to get a major pipeline from the northern bypass coming into Akiba, connecting to Ole Shapara, down until Kongoni Primary School. Then at Kongoni Primary School, where we have the Kenya Power substation, it connects to the larger trunk Siwa. And then now we're doing further laterals along the Ngong River line. So, I mean, Chair, I can give a lot of that. As for the MCA who wants a borehole, we do a lot of induction, and we tell them how to get a project. Projects are not received by a letter. They are budgeted for, they are appropriated by the MCAs themselves. In fact, they even indicate that this financial year we're going to do boreholes in this place, or we're going to do a road in this place. And so it's part of that process. I think maybe the issue is him being told or responded to. But that is really the process. We don't give projects based on request by a letter, but based on a medium-term framework, an appropriation bill, and it's a process you all know because you're legislators and you're also going through the same. Chair, on water, I think it will be of benefit for this committee and for Nairobians to know we've made huge improvements, increasing 160 cubic meters, 160 million liters a day, courtesy of NCT1 and Karimenu. And many of you might attest to increased water. So if you need me to go through that, I'll be able to
Governor, just to be specific to the areas that we've raised,
yes.
What would you say, like, of the 22,000 households that had already paid for connection in Ruai?
That's what I've told you is ongoing.
Just give us a status, and maybe the reasons for the delay. There are also allegations that some people had paid and they're being asked to pay again. This 5,000 shillings, is it receipted?
Of course.
They are
receipted.
receipts.
It is paid. I'll ask the MD to give you details of that, and then maybe also he can talk about Nyati Drive.
Please,
and,
those specific areas.
and Resambo. But for a more comprehensive response, because I'm sure he's also heard it now, we can write back. MD,
Thank you so much.
maybe respond to the issue of the Ruai.
Utawara area, where just like the governor has said, actually Ruai want to put Miango, Utawara, they take around that 8% of the surface area of the city. And those areas